Hey YouTube family, it's your girl Jenna Renee, and welcome to my channel Redefining a Woman's Worth. And I am here with part 4 of how God delivered me from demonic cycles of relationships or narcissistic relationships. And I think I left off in my last video talking about how my ex number 3 really played me crazy about when he got out of prison. Well, it was just really jail. He was just in the county at that point. But needless to say, that was obviously, again, if I didn't see all the other red flags, that was the reddest flag of them all to that date, right? But for whatever reason, with just my being a hopeless romantic, just wanting love, wanting to believe in him, wanting to believe in, the stories, the lies, wanting to hear what I want to hear, see what I wanted to see, because just the desire of love, just the idea of love, even if it was a broken love, right? I wanted it. So eventually I got over it. We stayed together. So as if things couldn't get any worse, they absolutely did. And again, throughout this time, it wasn't always bad, right? We had good moments, we had good times. He could be great at moments, he could be sweet at moments. We could just just be like the best of friends. He could just do some of the sweetest things that just, like I said, it just seemed like he just knew when to reel me and put me in. It's really hard to say, because what I don't want to do is make it as though he was just nothing about him was real. I don't know. Only him and God knows, right? I'm not in his mind. Let him tell it that he really does or did have feelings for me, whatever the case. I don't know. His actions just didn't seem to portray that. But nevertheless, so after that incident, things are kind of like, per usual. He was coming around, and then of course moments where he wasn't, or moments where he just wasn't, being consistent. But overall, he was like, I think he was, trying to keep me from really like disconnecting or breaking up with him. So he was kind of like, good behavior, I would say, for a little minute. But it didn't last too long. And so the next thing that happened that really was like, just really like, girl, run, 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 run. And I didn't, because he had started, like I said, now at this point, we are like totally involved. Our families are involved, right? He's got me meeting his family. I had already met his mother. His mother was already calling me her daughter-in-law. He was already calling me his wife. I'm now meeting his daughter, now meeting other family members, his grandmother, his brothers. He's around my family, he's around my sister, he's around my children. So it's still like this relationship, or it's really a situationship, but it was still like, we were in this thing. And so, it was one of those things like, okay, well, if he, as bad as I think he is, or, if he got somebody else, why he bringing me around all his family? Why is he telling everybody we together? Why do everybody know, like, the people who, that I know are important to him, the people that, are his aunts, like people in his family, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a secret, right? It wasn't a secret. But we used to have this problem with Facebook, because I did not like the fact that even though we were together and it wasn't a secret, when it came to Facebook, for whatever reason, he wouldn't put that he was in a relationship. It ain't even that I was like in my mind questioning, like, or wanting him to post me on his Facebook. It was the fact that I just felt like you should change your status. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I never tried to change mine either. But I felt the way, like, I'm like, dude, change your status, like, and he wouldn't. And so we would get into it about that sometime. But, things were progressing, you know what I mean? Like I said, we would have good moments, and we would have moments that weren't so great or whatever. And, I just saw what I wanted to see. I held on to the potential, and I held on to the idea of one day, like, he would just come to a realization, like, he knew that I was the one, and that he was going to be willing to put in the work and the effort, to have a healthy relationship. And so this one particular day, I was still doing hair at the hair salon. So I hadn't been to work or whatever, because it was like, since we had got together, I used to be on a whole another level of stressed out. And I would say that's also another red flag too, that you have to pay attention to your spirit, right? when certain people come into your life. You have to pay attention to, you know, even your emotional health, your psychological health. And what I didn't notice at the time that I can say, looking back, like, I used to really be in these states of depression, like, cause especially if he wasn't answering the phone, if he wasn't returning my calls, if he didn't come when he was supposed to come, it was just like, it was like it would drain me. You know, I would be so sad and depressed. I wouldn't get out of bed. I wouldn't go to work. You know, I wouldn't even try to get clients. Like, some days I just didn't have clients. But there was days I could have been out marketing. I could have been doing things. I could have been going places. I could have been, you know, really marketing myself, my business. But instead, I was just so depressed and so stressed and so sad. And I would just be doing nothing or in the bed. Or calling him, like, you know, trying to figure out, you know, where he at, why he ain't come or whatever. And so, must be like a whitehead. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. So there's one particular day I had to pay my booth rent, and I didn't have the money because I hadn't done no hair because I had been at home like that week or whatever. So I had called him like, hey, I need the money for my booth rent. He's like, all right, oh no, all right, I get it. I'll give it to you. And so he ended up having me meet him at his grandmother's house for him to give me the money for my booth rent, because he was acting as like though he was so busy and that he couldn't bring it, because he was supposed to bring it to the house, but he was taking so long and I needed to pay it. So he was just like meeting him at his grandmother's house. So when I get to his grandmother's house, I pull in the driveway. He wasn't there yet, and I'm just like waiting for him to pull up, and I see this car parked on the street, and there was this girl in the car. And the reason why it kind of took caught my attention is because the car she was in was literally identical to the car that he would be driving when he would come to the house. I'm like, this is, and she never got out the car. She is sat in the car. So it wasn't that I could even think like she was at the neighbor's house, because she never got out the car. And I was like, that's weird, because that's like that's the same as that car he drive all the time, which I thought was his car. And so I'm calling him, and like, where you at? 'Cause I had been waiting for him for a minute. And then I'm asking him, I'm like, yo, you got somebody here waiting on you? And he was like, no, what you talking about? What you mean? I was like, 'cause there's some girl in a car that look exactly like the type of car. And I said the type of car that you drive sitting on the street. He like, what? No, like, what you mean? Like, I don't know who that is, whatever. And he was like, matter of fact, just come meet me at Walgreens. So I go meet him at Walgreens. He get to Walgreens. He gave me the money. And so I'm like, you know, not believing what he talking about. I'm like, this is not just coincidence. So we chit chat for a minute. He pull off. I'm like, all right, I'm about to go ahead right back down the street, because I bet you he went over to his grandmother's house and met that girl, because I'm like, it's not a coincidence that she driving the same exact car that he drive almost every day. Like, every time he come over, he's in this car, and sometimes he'll be in a different car. But I'm like, this is just not a coincidence. So I go driving down the street, and by the time I got like to the block where his grandmother stayed, the car was gone. But then he was driving up the street. He was on the next street over. But as I'm like going through the cross section down his grandmother's street, he's going through the cross section coming up the other street. That's one street over. And he saw me. So he called me immediately like, what you doing? And I'm like, I have to go to the gas station, because the gas station is in that direction. I was like, I need gas, and I'm going to the gas station. And he was like, oh, because he was like, why you riding down the street? Like, what you doing? I'm like, why? Why are you asking me? I'm like, why? Was that girl there for you or something? Like, you don't want me to know? You want me to see? You thought you almost got caught? And he's like, no, I'm just wondering. He's like, I thought you was blah, 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 wherever I was supposed to have been going. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. But then I'm like, yeah, he saw me, so he was like trying to see, because he knew he would have got caught. So I go to the gas station, and then something just didn't feel right. I just had this eerie feeling. So I'm gonna be honest, you know, it was this guy that I used to talk to. We used to kind of like be, you know, like a couple years before we were like dating or whatever. And dude just couldn't get himself together. Like, he just was like in a really place, like he just couldn't like get out of the slump that he was in, I guess. And so I ended up breaking things off with him, but like he always came back after I broke up with him. He came back and he confessed all this love he had for me, and then talking about he was about to propose to me and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, what? But anyway, I had connected with him, you know, because I knew dude, you know, ex number 3, I knew he was on some trash. So I started talking to my ex, you know, like on the low, you know what I'm saying? I started talking to him, but I never like would do anything. I never would go nowhere with him or nothing. We would just talk on the phone because we was real cool, and like he was dating somebody. And so he would tell me about the situation he was with her. I would give him advice because we were friends, you know. We didn't like have no bad breakup or anything, but I did know that he was dating this girl, and he knew that I was dating someone. So we wasn't like trying to necessarily date each other in the beginning. We just really would be talking on the phone, just like friends. But eventually he ended up stopped talking to the girl that he was talking to, and I knew he was still interested in me. And so it was almost like I just wanted to have a backup plan. And I was just like, ex number 3 was just doing too much. You know, I seen the red flags, even though I didn't have the courage to leave per se. I really wasn't trying to get totally invested. So, I had a little side piece. And so this day, I just knew he was lying. I knew the girl that was there for him, even though I didn't catch him. I just like, because what difference do it make if I'm riding down the street? It's a street. It's an open public street. I could drive down the street if I want to. Like, why are you calling me, want to know why I'm driving down the street? And so I ended up calling my friend, and I'm like seeing what he doing. He was about to be at this restaurant. He told me to come meet him at the restaurant so we can have lunch. I'm like, sweet. So I go up there, and we at the restaurant for hours. Now, this is the part I did leave out. I'll say this. When we ask God for something, be prepared for it, especially when it comes to asking God to reveal to you someone's heart or who they are or what's going on. You don't pray that prayer if you're just not going to believe God, right? And I'm speaking from experience because that morning, I just woke up with a feeling like something's off. I just woke up with a feeling like just the way he moving is just like something off. Like he lying about some stuff. He must got somebody else he messing with or something. So that morning I prayed, Lord, show me the truth. If he's cheating on me, let me know. And so I don't continue to be stupid, like, I mean, that's how I talk to God sometimes. Like, I don't want to continue to be a fool. I'm not trying to keep wasting my time, and I just want to move on, yada, yada, yada. So I said I said a prayer similar to that morning before all these events with him having to give me the money, me seeing the woman parked on the street, all of that. So now I call my friend, we go to lunch, and we at this particular restaurant for like a few hours because we just talking, catching up, right? And then he get a phone call from one of our other mutual friends, and they're trying to go to Cleveland to go do something. And so he asked me to go. So I told him, okay, but he had said he had some runs to make first. So I'm like, okay, call me when you ready. Now, in the back of my mind now, this whole time we was out, I was nervous. I ain't gonna lie. I felt like wrong. Like, I felt wrong. Like I'm not right. Like, dude gonna catch me. Like, ex number 3 gonna catch me. So he gonna find out. Like, I just kept feeling like paranoid or whatever. And so I'm driving down the street, and I'm like, wondering, like, I wonder, what's going on with ex number 3, and is he like, somewhere with that girl, or like whatever. I think I don't know if I had called him yet or not, but anyway, I'm driving down the street. Y'all, I can't even make this up. Now, mind you, I prayed that prayer earlier that day. Asked the Lord to show me if he cheating, show me if he lying, show me if he playing, and I just need to let him go about all the things. Driving down the street from the restaurant with my friend, right past ex number 3 with the girl in the car, in the same car that she was in, parked on his grandmother's street. Kid you not. They were right past me. He didn't see me. I mean, rode right past me. I couldn't believe it. My heart dropped. It sank. I like literally, it was like everything stopped for a second. I'm like, oh, I was like, I knew it. I knew he was lying. I knew that was the car he be driving. I knew that girl was there for them. I knew it. I couldn't believe, like, what was the odds of them right past me, like on the street? He didn't even see me. So I kept trying to go to the house because I was like, at this point, I didn't seen it. Lord, I asked you. You showed me. I seen it. He just got to come get his stuff. Because by this time, he got like stuff at my house. And so I'm like, he just about to come get his stuff. And now the phone he got is in my name. Because the phone he had, it was like he was having problems with it or something. So I ended up getting the phone in my name. I'm like, his phone in my name. I'm about to get his phone cut off. And he can get his stuff. And he can kick rocks. Or he can go ahead and continue to be with old girl. So I ended up saying I'm not going to turn double back, because I seen what store they was pulling into. They were going to a grocery store, because I was passing the grocery store. It was like a little shopping plaza that I was passing, and I could tell that that's where they were going. So I was like, nope, I'm just going to go home. I'm not going to turn around. I'm not going to go there. I got literally almost to my block. Almost to my block. I was almost home. Turned around. Went right to that grocery store, okay? Pulled in the parking lot, seen the car. Knew they were in there because nobody was in the car. Went in the store. Looking right. I mean, my heart racing. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do, what I'm going to say. I know he's in here with that woman. I'm like, but he need to know that I know. He need to know he caught. So I walk in the store. I'm walking around looking for him. Boom, walk right into him. I'm trying to think, when I walked into him, like, was he there? Was the girl right there? I don't think so. Nope, I don't think so. So he, like, when he seen me, his eyes got so big. He was like what's up? Like, he tried to play it so cool. He is like, what's up? And I said, you tell me. And he was like, what's up? I'm like, and then the girl ended up by me and him talking. The girl walks up and just like, she don't say nothing to me or nothing to him, like, even about us talking. She just kind of like say something to him about some kind of like a debit card or something like that or whatever. I don't know. And then she kind of like walk off and continue to, I guess, to go get the stuff she was getting. I don't know. Y'all, that's my anointing oil. And so I was just like flabbergasted at this whole situation. So I'm like, who is that? He like, who? I'm like, oh, girl. He like, oh, that's just a friend. I'm like, really? I'm like, you lied. You told me that wasn't the girl. And I'm like, now you here and that's the same girl I seen at your grandmother's. He like, no, it's not. I'm like, yes, it is. Same woman, same car. I'm like, you know what? I just like, so I'm just like, now I'm just going off. And he like, man, you like, calm down. You tripping. I'm like, no, dude, I'm not tripping. Like, you trying to play me. He like, no, I'm not. She's just my friend. That's nothing. It's nothing. It's not what you think. And I'm like, I look stupid to you. So I go to leave out the store, because I tell him whatever I say, and I'm just like upset, how we be. So I'm upset, whatever, saying whatever I'm saying, and I leave. And as I was going back to my car, I'm like, no, wait a minute, hold on, let me go get that phone though, because that phone is in my name. You ain't, listen now, you can do what you want to do. If you want to be with this person, whatever, that's fine, but you gonna have to do it on your own phone now. That ain't gonna happen, not in my name. So I go back in, I'm like, let me get my phone. And he like, no. And I'm like, get my phone, man, it's my phone. I'm like, listen, you can do you can do what you want to do. Be who you want to be with, but not with a phone in my name, you're not. And he like, man, get out of here. So then he started getting mad, and I'm like, no. So I'm like, get my phone. So we get in an argument now. So at first he wasn't like trying to argue with me or like be aggressive. He just trying to convince me that it's nothing, it's nobody, she nobody. His friend bringing her to the grocery store. So now he mad because I'm like, now you about to give me my phone though. Like, bruh, you tripping. And so we get into it, and so he wasn't gonna give me the phone, so I leave. So I leave and I go call the phone company, and I get his phone cut off. So, and I'm telling him like, yo, just come get your stuff though, bro. Like, listen, hey, you called, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not about to, I'm not going there with you. But you come get your things. We're done. And that's that. So he like, all right, well, whatever. So I cut the phone off, and I go to the house. So he eventually pull up, and he started getting his stuff out. And I'm just sitting on the porch while he carrying his stuff out. And I'm just like sitting there like, this dude. And he ain't saying nothing. And I'm like, he got the audacity. Like, you ain't even gonna like try to, tell me the truth at this point. Cause I'm just like, yo, just tell me the truth. I'm like, I seen it. It is what it is. I'm like, but why you have to lie, like, or why you have to play your hand like that? If that's what you wanted to do, if that's how you want to live, you could have told me that, or we didn't have to be like getting in like to any relationship or situationship, whatever this one's supposed to be. Like, man, I ain't got nothing to say. Like, you said what you had to say. Like, one thing I ain't about to deal with nobody telling me to come get my stuff. He like start trying to make it about me, like the fact that I told him to come get your stuff. Like, yeah, I did, because bro, you trying to play me like crazy, and I'm not about to do that with you. Like, I done already dealt with too much of your nonsense, and this is the straw that's breaking the camel's back right now. Like, you tripping, you're lying, and now you can't even just tell the truth. Like, I could probably try to see if I want to deal with this bull crap if you just tell me the truth. Like, because then I could just do my one too. If that's the game you want to play, we can play now. I was trying to be nice, but just tell me so I can know how to play. Like, you playing, but I'm trying to be serious. Yes, I was, even though I was just on a lunch date with somebody else, but hey, that wasn't none of his business. Apparently, he was doing something on some kind of date itself, and so we end up getting into it or whatever, and then eventually he, want to talk. Like, I started, really trying to get him to tell me the truth. I'm like, just tell me. I'm like, so, I'm trying to get him to just, talk or whatever, and just like for us to have this like closure conversation. And so I'm just like, just tell me, like, whatever. So he tried to play hard at first, and then eventually he like, whatever, this is who she is, da 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 da. It ain't nothing like that, blah blah blah. He, she look out for him, and he do stuff for her, blah blah blah. But it ain't nothing serious, like they not together or nothing like that, and da 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 da. So boom 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 boom, we get he get into this whole conversation about it ain't nothing like that. And of course, that's what I wanted to hear. So I went ahead and accepted that. And then we eventually, you know how I go. Next thing you know, we are making up. And the thing I will say too, which really made things much more complicated when it came to me truly leaving him, is because by this point we had created a soul tie because we were fornicating. And so, it made it that much more difficult to leave, even with, him not lying to me about when he got out of jail. I was in this soul tie, and even though my mind was saying, girl, you need to leave, my heart, my emotions, like my soul, my mind, my will, my intellect was like, no. So it was that battle. And that's why God did not create us to fornicate and have sex outside of marriage, because you really do become one with that person. You develop this connection and this tie to them that is not meant to be broken. That's why in Ecclesiastes 4:12 it tells us that three-strand cord not easily broken. It's not a covenant. It's not made to be broken. And so even though we didn't physically get married, in the spirit realm, when you fornicate with someone, when you have intercourse with them, you're marrying them in the spirit, because that's what God designed. One of the designs for intercourse, or for sex, was to consummate a marriage. Just because we misuse it doesn't take away what he created it to do. So it still does that. And so I didn't know that at the time, but I knew fornicating was wrong. But we were fornicating. And so at that day, after all of that went on, me seeing it with my own eyes, all the things, God answered my prayer in that same hour, basically. In that same day, I still chose to allow my emotions to lead me. And I just believed what I wanted to believe. And next thing you know, because that's one thing I would say he was very intentional to do. He used intercourse. He used sex a lot, right? He used it a lot to looking back, to really manipulate me and to keep me under this like control, if you will. Like, he knew what he was doing. And so of course it was like reeling me back in. So we ended up fornicating, and then he went on about his day. And after, whatever, after we chilled or whatever, and then I forgot that I cut his phone off, y'all. I forgot I cut his phone off, and he didn't know his phone was cut off until, after he left, after we made up or whatever, and he left. And then I guess he doubled back, and he pulled in the yard, in the grass, and came and kicked my door into my bedroom, because it was locked. And I'm just sitting there chilling, and I ain't thinking nothing. I forgot. He was like, "You cut my phone off." Da, 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 da. I tried to make a phone call, and they said my phone was off. Da, da, da. And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I did." Like, I was like, "I forgot." I'm like, "Okay," And so I ended up cutting his phone back on, and then we went from there. And so that was like the next. Like I said, if the first thing with him lying about when he got out of jail wasn't enough, it was like this is the second thing. And this wasn't too long after he had lied about when he got out of jail. And it was just like, it was so many things that just was coming up that just was telling me, like, girl, he ain't it. This ain't it. You need to go, you need to run. This dude is not telling you the truth. He's not honest. He's not integral. He's not a man of his word. He doesn't have good character. He's a liar. But it was like, now, not only am I broken and I want to be loved, and I don't understand what love is because I never really experienced the true love. And plus I need to be healed, right? I needed to be healed from my childhood trauma, from my adulthood. I needed to go through my own process. I needed to become whole, so not only am I dealing with my own issues and my own damage and my own internal battles. Now that I already like this person, I already have feelings for this person, and then I add on top of that fornicating, which created a soul tie. So it was just kind of like this perfect storm, right? It was just brewing, this perfect storm. And so even though I wanted to leave because I didn't want to continue to be hurt, I didn't want to continue to be sad, I didn't want to continue to be depressed, I didn't want to continue to be crying myself to sleep at night, I didn't want to continue to do that. But it was just like, I just didn't have the strength, though. Like, I wanted to, but I couldn't. And it was because I continued to open myself up. And the more I let him in, and the more that I gave in, the more that I took him back and accepted him back, it was like the harder every next thing. Because I'm talking about, this thing escalated. I mean, it gets so deep, y'all. Like, it gets so deep. It's crazy, the stuff that I dealt with. And so after that, because I still got a few minutes. So, after that incident, again, things ain't always all bad. We have our good moments, our good times, our family time, whatever the case may be. And then the next thing was, we end up getting into it and breaking up about something. But we were still like, you know how it is. You broke up or on a break, but y'all still seeing each other, you're still hanging out, you still doing everything you was doing. You was in a relationship. It probably was the situation when I caught him with old girl, because I don't think we ever really officially got back together. We just continued to do everything like we were doing. And so I get a phone call one day. Now, the lady, the person whose hair salon that I was working for at the time, me and her was super cool. We had been knowing each other for years. And she was somebody I was trusted because we have a real personal relationship. Like, I've been knowing her a long time. She's one of my close friends. She's someone that's, I look up to. She's someone that knows me really well. And so she called me and she was like, hey, is you and, so-and-so still together? And I was just like, I mean, we technically not in a relationship, but we still like seeing each other. He still be over here. He still got stuff over here. Why, what's up? She was like, oh, okay. I was just making sure. She was like, because, we friends on Facebook, and he, I just want to call you and let you know, because he has some pictures on his page of him and this woman talking about this his girlfriend. I'm like, what? Excuse me? The same person who wouldn't even change his status to in a relationship, let alone post me and him together on his social media, is, excuse me? So I'm like, send it to me, show me. Now, this is probably about August. It's August, because it was on my aunt's birthday. I remember it's August. Now, we started talking in January of 2017. This is August. All these events that I've already talked about from part 1 to this one right now was in these months, these first 8 months. Okay, so now we in August. So I was like, send it to me, because now me and him are no longer friends, so I can't see it. So that's why he did it, because he knew I couldn't see, because we're not friends. So she sent it to me. I said, okay, I'm gonna call you right back. I'm about to go off. And she was like, no, don't go off. I'm like, okay. So, I think I just texted him. I don't know. I don't think I called him initially. I texted him and I sent him that screenshot. And I was like, you could have told me you was in a relationship. Congratulations. And he was like, oh, he was like, you ain't have to send it to me. I got it. He was like, I already got that picture or something. Like, you ain't have to send it to me, but thanks or something he said. I was like, okay. I was like, hey, don't call me no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was so, that day, I was serious. I said, oh, no, we're not doing this. I don't even think I cried. I was just so, I think at that moment, I was just like, okay, enough is enough. Enough is enough. I'm not doing this any longer. So I just tell him like, okay, I wish you well. I wish you the best. Do not contact me. And I was serious. And I said it just like that. I said, don't contact me at all. Leave me alone. Don't bother me. Leave me alone. And he's like, okay, whatever. So I said, because he's so arrogant, right? So he just, was having these really arrogant and sarcastic, like, remarks. He was just so, like, all right, whatever. Hey, whatever. We good. I'm happy or whatever he was saying. I'm like, okay. I ain't saying nothing else because I was down, went on about my day. And so, excuse me, I had to take a drug test for a job. I had just got a new job and I was making a salary. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, Negro, deuces. And so I went on by my day, and the next thing you know, I guess because I wasn't continuing to call him or whatever, next thing, like a couple hours later, he started calling me. I'm ignoring it, and I'm just like, and so that spirit, I didn't know what I know today, right, about the spirit realm and just how things work, but that spirit just was such a antagonistic spirit, and so it's like he started texting me and he just started being like very sarcastic, right? And he started saying stuff like acting like ain't nothing like happened. First he was like, what you doing or where you at or something. I just wasn't responding. And so then he had ended up texting me a few times and I was just like, listen, you got a woman, y'all all over Facebook, why are you calling me? Why are you texting me? Just please. I even asked him, like, please leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm done. I'm not doing this with you. Have a good day. And so he texted me like, you're not going nowhere. You're mine. He's like, you're mine. You're not going nowhere. I don't care what I do. You're not going nowhere. I just said, okay, we go see. So he keep on. I'm not even responding no more. Going on about my day. We got a party for my aunt for her birthday. So I'm getting ready for that. Got my children, got my sister. She had just had my niece a few months before. Was over because we were all going together to my aunt's party. And so I'm carrying on my whole day, okay? I don't care. Peace out, bro. Do your thing. You can get your crap. But hey, leave the key. Do you, okay? So we go to my aunt's party. We having us a good old time, family time, right? He blow my phone up. I won't answer it. He's texting me. I won't respond. He's calling me. I won't answer it. I mean, my phone back to back to back to back to back. And I'm like, this dude is a fool. You know what I'm saying? Then I could see, because I had security system. I had cameras. So I seen him go to the house and get his stuff. And so I was like, okay, he got his stuff. So I'm thinking like, well, what he calling me for? So I really ain't answered the phone because I'm like, what is he calling me for? Because you clearly got your stuff. I could see you got it. So what do you want? So I wouldn't answer. So this went on for like hours. He just kept calling. So I think maybe after like 2 or 3 hours or so, he might have stopped calling. So by this time, it's late. It's like almost midnight. So we end up, leaving my aunt's house or whatever, go back to my house. Me and my sister and my sons or whatever. And my sister's baby dad come pick her and my niece up. And I'm in my room, about to lay down, go to bed. My children are, in their room, whatever. And next thing you know, I hear a knock on my bedroom door because I had my bedroom door locked. And I'm like, who is it? He said his name. I said, this dude is a clown. He's a clown. So I'm like, what do you want? He like, I want to talk. Now, all the other stuff you done did before, you ain't never want to talk. I gotta force you, coerce you, beg you. Now I don't got nothing to say. What do we need to, we don't need to talk. I'm like, what do we need to talk about? It's clear. I see. It's clear. Okay? You made your choice. Listen, I'm not here wrecking no happy homes. You feel me? Like, nah. What is there else to say? You said all you needed to say earlier. I ain't debate with you. I didn't argue with you. I just told you, leave me alone. Why are you here? He's begging me, please open the door. Please open the door. Whatever. So now, it's not my children. It's all out. You know what I'm saying? They there. You know, I didn't want to have all the nonsense in front of my kids. So I'm like, whatever. So open the door. So now he want to come in and play. Now he usher confessions. Now he like giving me the girl's information, telling me her name. Like, she don't even live in our city. She was just there visiting him. She basically not made him, but in order for him to do what it is he was trying to do, I guess she was supposed to be, I don't know. Anyway, he was running some kind of scam on her. And in order for the scam to work and be believable, she wanted it to be like they was in a relationship, and she wanted to be like, you know how you booed up, and hey, y'all on each other's Facebooks and whatever. But he was like, I never. This how foolish he was. He gonna say, I never thought you would be able to see it. He's like, I would have never put it on there. He was like, I would have never put it on there had I thought you would have been able to see it. Facebook is a public platform. Even if you make your page private, if you have friends, like, anyway. But he's just like, it's nothing. He gonna tell her to take it down, because I guess he didn't post it. He might have posted one or so or something, but like the other ones he was tagged in, and that's why it was in his. But he was like, you know, he gonna have her take it down. I think he had already had her take it down by then. He was like, it's gone. It's not there no more. I had her take it down. Here's the situation. Here's what it is, but it's nothing. I'm so sorry. I would never do that to you. You know what I'm saying? We technically wasn't together, but if I ever thought you would see it, I would have never done that. Like, you know, he had never, and that was like the first time he had been drinking. Like, he was stressed out. Like, he was stressed out. He was smelling like liquor and everything. And I'm just looking like, dude, you're weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're super weird for this. Like, you want to come and have this conversation and be confessions and talk to me and tell me all this nonsense, whatever you got going on with this person who's some kind of scam, some kind of game you running on her. Now, is that supposed to make me feel better? I'm just still sitting there like, okay, I'm still not feeling it. And so he got mad at that point. He was like, well, F you then, you know, and he stormed off because he saw I wasn't on it. And so I'm going to cut it off right there, and I'll be back for part 5. But, you know, if you're following from part 1, you can see the progression, right? Trust me, it don't get better. It get worse, right? It really does. And I know you may think to yourself, like, girl, how could you keep going? It's so easy to do. It's so easy to do when you're your unhealed self. It's so easy to do when you fall in love with the potential of someone. It's so easy to do when you have this fairy tale in your mind that you always wanted, right? You always wanted to be a wife. And you think that someone's going to change, or you could change them. You believe the lies that they say, even though you know deep down it's not true, because you want to believe it. You hold on to it. It's easy to do. And that's why it's like, you can't never judge nobody, because I never thought that I would be in the situation I ended up being in with him. I've had people that I used to be friends with that I seen go through some things with men. And I used to say to myself, but you never know, right? You can't never say never. And I found myself being in some even probably worse than some of the things that I saw these people these other women go through that I said I would never go through. And it was, again, because it just takes the right person. And so you can't even be hard on yourself, because there's something in you that is just, sometimes we just don't have the capacity, or we're not strong enough, right? Because we either ain't got to that breaking point, we're not fed up, or we just not healed enough, right? We don't see our own self-worth enough. We don't see our self-value enough, right? We don't see our self-worth enough, right? We think that it's okay for someone to use us as a punching bag, or to step on us as a doormat, or, as long as they come back and, apologize or give us gifts or say they'll never do it again, you hold on to that. You want to believe it because you love them, right? Even if the love that you is dysfunctional, right? You love that person and you want to be with that person. And so, like, this is a judgment-free zone. And I'm telling my testimony again, not to glorify him or me, to glorify God. Because I'm going to tell y'all, as I continue my story and you see how deep it got real deep. And it wasn't just physical stuff he was doing. It started getting spiritually deep. Like, it started being where spirits were manifesting and different things. And so this thing is so real. But I'm saying this, my story, I'm telling my story because I'm hoping that it will help somebody, even if you're already in it or maybe come out of it, but just want to get more understanding of what it is you went through or how you got there, right? And or maybe it could prevent someone from ever even getting into a situation like that. That is the prayer. But it's really all glory going to God, because I didn't get myself out of this. Only God did. Because it got bad. It got real bad. And I almost married this person. And so it was nothing but the grace of God, the hand of God, that snatched me out of that. And it took a very long time. And so we'll get into more details as we carry on in this series. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Please let me know in the comments if you are, or if you have any, similar situation, or you can relate in a new way. Please connect with me. Also, like, subscribe, share, subscribe to my channel, because after this series, there are going to be some other things that I will be doing, other content I'll be creating. So you want to stay tuned for that. And then also, if you want to be notified every time I upload another episode to this particular series, you want to hit that subscribe button so you'll get that notification, and like and share. Share, because maybe it's not for you, but maybe someone in your family, maybe someone, a friend that need to hear that can hear this testimony, and it can be a blessing to them. So until next time, have a blessed day on purpose. Peace.